Okay, so let's take a look at some more things here. I've got some tiny little drawings here that I'm going to use to, sorry for the clicks, it's just built in. So anyway, uh, let's see what we've got here. Okay, let's first take a look at this. Oops. Okay, this is what's called the OSI model. Okay, and this basically tries to explain how, or does explain how communication works between basically any device that is connected to a network. Okay, and this isn't just for one type of computer or one type of networking card. This is a built-in standard that's been developed by the IEEE. Okay, and they're the ones that make all the rules for every kind of networking card and device and everything. So this is used by every device that connects to any network. Okay, and what we've got here is we've got 7 layers. Okay, you can make up some kind of acronym to remember these, but you got to remember which order they go in. All right, this is layer 1. Okay, and this is layer 7. Okay, it goes from the physical layer to the application layer, not the other way around. Well, and I'll talk about this in a second. So let's see here. Okay, let's use this. Okay, these are hubs. Remember I talked about hubs before? Well, this is what hubs look like. Now, this is not an ideal network because, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and explain this. This is not an ideal network here because all of this bandwidth here, inside of here, is shared, okay? So, if this guy, oh, not to mention that these hubs repeat everything to everyone. So if this guy here sends out a message, it gets repeated to this guy, it goes down to here, gets repeated to all of these computers here, the same message. Okay? So if this guy and this guy send a message at the same time, it's going to go down, get repeated, but these are going to collide somewhere in here. Okay? And none of these computers are going to get the message. Alright? So this is terrible. This is a terrible network. Anyway, so let's talk about the OSI model. Okay, I don't know what OSI stands for. It's just OSI. Anyway, physical. Okay, so this guy wants to send a message to, I don't know, some guy over here. Okay, well, let's go with this guy. He's gonna send a message over here. So he's gonna start at the physical layer. Okay, what he's gonna do is he's gonna gather the information, okay, that needs to be sent. He's gonna go from the top down, okay? He's gonna take the application information, which is basically the high level data, okay? Stuff that's being input on your computer from you, okay? And then he's gonna send it down to the presentation layer, okay? Well, he's gonna encapsulate it first in an application, let's see, where's that at? Here it is. He's going to encapsulate it first with this header, okay, layer 7 header. Alright, then he's going to send it down to the presentation layer, which these are all built in to your computer and your networking card. Okay, so he's going to send it down to the presentation layer, okay, which is going to get it ready for the next layer, which is going to get it ready for the next layer, but next layer, next layer. Okay, and all of these layers serve their individual purposes. Okay, but the ones that are really important to us are number 7. This one is not really all that important unless you get to a really high level of, networking. But the number 7, because things like Telnet or email, stuff like that, they don't, or web applications, they don't work without the application layer. But they also don't work without any of these other layers. So that one's important to make sure that all of these are working. Okay. So the session layer, it's going to set up a session between your computers or your devices. Well, usually computers, like a server or 2 home computers or 2 servers, or whatever the case may be. They're going to set up what's called a socket. Okay, and that's basically just an IP address with a port number attached to it. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's network addresses. Okay, so basically a session would look like, well, it'd be an IP address. This is a fake network address, but it'd be, you know, some sort of IP address, which we'll discuss later on, with a port number attached to it. And maybe I should be going from the physical layer, but whatever, we'll keep going with this. And then the transport layer, the transport layer decides which ports are to be used. Okay, so it has to do with like port 23 is for SMTP, port 80 is for HTTP. It tells, you know, which application gets what port number, or which session gets what port number. Okay, so then we go down to the network layer. Okay, and this is happening, this right here is happening all the way down. So really, this is inside of this, and this is inside of here, and this is inside of here. Okay, so we get to the network layer, we get assigned addresses, IP addresses. Okay, and IP addresses, I don't think I have a picture, but let's see if I can show you what an IP address looks like. Well, okay. Oh, okay, well, all these are in the way. But anyway, let's see if I can maneuver this around, so maybe move this out of the way. Okay, so this is an IP address here. Okay, this is a private. I'm not going to get into that right now, but this is an IP address. Okay, you've got 4 sets of numbers here, separated by periods. Okay, and the first, you know, they each tell a different story, basically. Okay, and this is important too, and this is all important. But anyway, you know, it's like a mailing address is what it's been compared to usually. So this is, you know, this is your country, okay? This is your state, this is your city, and this is your house number, okay? So, you know, 10, you know, country 10, state 10, city 10, and house number 102. Okay, that's the best way to describe it. Okay, and subnet mask is also in the network layer, but basically what this does is it says that this computer is only going to communicate within this network. Okay, and what that means is 255 states that only 10. Okay, that means only 10. Okay, 255 only 10. 255 is only 10, and then 0 is everything from 1 to 255, or 0 to 255, really. Okay, so it's only going to communicate within the 10.10.10.anything network. Okay, if there were zeros here or here or here, then it would mean anything. Okay, and you can cut this down to individual numbers, and that's actually called subnetting. Okay, where you can make the networks larger or smaller depending on this subnet mask. Okay, and I'll do a whole video on subnetting because it's really important. We're not going to cover IP version 6 because it's not important yet. I mean, everybody's still using IP version 4, which is this. Okay, IP version 6 is very, very long and complicated. But also DNS is used by IP addresses, or IP addresses are used by DNS. Okay, and that's just domain name service. Okay, and it just converts from colloquial names like www.whatever.com to an IP address so that your network layer knows how to find it and knows where to go. Okay, so that's network layer. Okay, and data link layer. Okay, this is where this comes in here. Okay, so each of these, okay, so basically the network layer provides you with a logical address, right? It's just logical. It's not anything. It's made up, okay? But the data link layer will provide you with a physical address, and it doesn't look like this. Let me see if I can. Whoops. Okay. Okay. So I don't know if this is working right, but this right. I don't see it. Oh, here. This right here is a physical address. Okay, this is a data link layer address. Okay, and what that does for you is basically it communicates over this layer 2, okay, which is it's much faster than layer 3. Okay, this data link layer communicates much faster than the network layer. Okay, so this guy wants to send a message over to this guy. He's going to go over the data link layer. Okay, what he's going to do is he's going to send out an ARP request. Okay, and he's going to say, okay, I need to know everybody's network address. Okay, so he's going to send that out, and everybody's going to reply on this network, especially on this network since it's a hub network. Everybody's going to reply. Okay, and he's going to build this little table of like this of these network addresses. All right, and it will come with something like a name, you know, and a network address. Okay, and then he's going to say, okay, well, I want to send to, let's say he's Fred Flintstone. Okay, this one over here is Fred Flintstone. I want to send to Wilma. So how do I get there? Okay, well, I'm going to create these little messages with only this network address attached to it. And I think I have a little, what that looks like here. Let's see. This is close enough. Okay. So within here, where's this going to be at? Network access. Well, this isn't very good, but with somewhere, well, how about this? Somewhere in here, okay, this layer 2 header right here, okay, is going to be Wilma's address, okay, and also his Fred Flintstone's return address, okay, which will be his own network address. So the first time whenever he sent out this message, he had a network 2 address of anyone, okay, and he had a return address of himself as 0001, or, you know, whatever. I showed you what one looked like earlier, but basically that's what happened, okay. And so he sends this with a destination address of 0002 and a return address of 0001, or a source address, really. So only she doesn't, in this network, everybody's going to get it, but only she will pay attention to it. Okay, this one here. So he's going to send his little messages, and they're going to go across, and everybody's going to get them, but on this network, because it's a hub network. Remember, hubs repeat everything, okay, to everyone. So only she is going to listen. All right. So, and then we get down to, and how do we do that? We go through the physical, right? Because you can't, the data link layer, it doesn't know what this means. It doesn't know what these wires mean, okay? In the physical, it takes all of this stuff right here, all of this, all right? And it changes it into ones and zeros. Well, it's already in ones and zeros, really. But it changes it into voltage, like raw voltage, plus and, you know, negative electricity. I don't know, positive and negative electricity. Okay, and then it goes over this wire. It transmits it. Okay, and then this gets it. This doesn't know, these hubs right here, just because they're hubs, they don't know about any of this. Okay, they don't see any of this. They don't know how to read any of that. Okay, so they're just going to send this physical, all right, they're going to send it right back out to all ports except the one it came in on, okay? So everybody's going to get this physical, and this keeps going on through here and up through here, okay? And then a computer gets it, or a network card, really, or if you had a switch over here, it would get it, or a router or something, or a router, okay? It would get that, okay, and it would change it from physical bits to logical bits, all right, and ones and zeros, all this stuff, okay, and then it would take and it would look at the first part, all right, the layer 2 header and trailer, okay, and it would say, is this for me? If so, then I'm going to cut these off, okay, I'm going to cut these off and go down into here, okay, and let's look at this. Oh, it's network address, okay, well, is this my address? Okay, well it is. So I'm going to cut this off and go down even deeper into the transport layer. Okay, now is this a port? This is basically ports here. Okay, is this a port that's important to me? Is this something I'm listening on? Okay, oh well, I'm a web server. I'm listening on port 80. It's destined for port 80. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to cut this off and go down even deeper into the session layer. Okay, do I have a session with this person? Yeah, okay, here it is. I'm going to look it up in my session table, which is in this space over here, apparently. But, yeah, okay, I've got this IP address from this person, okay, with this port number. Alright, yeah, I have a session. So, let's cut this off and go even deeper into the presentation layer. Alright, well, I don't actually know what's in this. I've heard that it's encryption. I've heard very many different things, but yeah, okay, this is important too. Let's cut this off and go down into the application layer. Okay, what application is this for? Okay, it's for HTTP. Do I have an HTTP server running? Yes, I do. Okay, well, let's cut this off and send it over to that application. And basically, the web server will process that data there and then do the reverse to send the information back to, whoever. So that's basic networking. I'm not doing that right now. It's not important. So see you in the next video.